What's up? Ghost Fictions is here, and we're back again. This is the part 5 of a story where Issei was the grandson of the legendary demon hunter Dante. But before we start, please consider subscribe to the channel and give this video a like. Don't forget to check the description for more informations. Now, let's get into part 5. Hyoudou residence, Sunday. Issei and Kalina are seen preparing to leave for REDGRAVE City. Issei for the first time wore the long coat his father gave him, matched with a teal top with a darker shade, black pants accompanied with a belt that had a silver buckle designed with Drake's insignia, and a pair of black combat boots with red accents. Kalina wore her outfit from yesterday that was freshly washed. And both had their weapons in case anything goes south. Kalina approached Riaz and Asia in the kitchen. Riaz, Asia-chan, I'm trusting you with the house. Issei and I would be back by nighttime. Kalina said. You can count on us, Kalina-san. Riaz said in high spirits. Have a safe trip, Kalina Akasama, Issei-san. Asia said happily. Issei and Kalina teleported away to REDGRAVE City. REDGRAVE City. Issei and Kalina came out of their teleportation circle just outside of Nero's shop. Strange, I feel so good being here again. Issei took a deep breath. There's just something about this place that makes you feel at home. Kalina smiled. You said it, even though this is my second time coming here. Issei said excitedly. Kalina opened the door and immediately saw Nero, whose feet are resting on his table. Nero noticed the two enter. Kalina, Issei, welcome yet again, and nice coat you got there, kid. Hey everyone. Kalina and her son are here. Nero announced. Kiri was the first to come out. Hello Kalina, it's been too long. Kiri smiled. Yeah, how long has it been? 15 years. Haha. Kalina chuckled. Kiri noticed the young man beside Kalina and went white in her smile. Kiri walked over to the boy. Issei, is that you? Kiri embraced Issei. Issei has never met this woman before yet, he feels that she's been with her before. Issei hesitantly reciprocated the hug. Yes. Who are you again? Issei had an awkward look on his face. Kiri let go of Issei. Oh, where are my manners? I'm Kiri, you wouldn't remember that far, because I raised you with Kalina until you were 2 years of age. Kiri clasped her hands together. I see, nice to meet you Kiri-san, and thank you for helping my mother. Issei bowed. Kiri giggled. Of course, you were so cute when you were a baby, now look at you, so big already. Kiri patted Issei's head. Issei closed his eyes and smiled. Ha, never thought that being on the receiving end of head pats felt this good. Issei thought. 2 more sets of footsteps were heard approaching the group, revealing Trish and Nico. Whoa. Kalina, is that your kid? Nico exclaimed. Dante. Trish softly said to herself. Kalina smiled. Yes he is. Kalina slapped Issei's back. Ow. Issei exclaimed from the pain. Got a name? Lil Sirzechs. Nico grinned at Issei. Lil Sirzechs. I'm Issei Hyoudou. Issei had a confused look. Oh, come on, you're Sirzechs' kid, right? I'm Nico. Your dad was practically my best friend, me and him invented a lot of things including that shotgun of yours. Nico pointed out. How do you know? Issei asked. We made it and it was meant for you, duh. Nico deadpanned. Issei scratched his head. I guess. By the way, can you do something about the shotgun? An imaginary light bulb popped up over Issei's head. I sure can, but that'll have to wait. Trish here's been eyeing you ever since she saw you here. Nico pointed at Trish. Oh, can it? Nico. Hey there kid, you can call me Trish, gotta say, you look like Dante when he was still young, Trish chuckled. Hello Trish-san, a pleasure to meet you, are you related to Eva in any way? Issei asked. No, I was just made to look exactly like her when Mundus tried to kill Dante back then. Trish shrugged. Oh, I see, I guess his life was a rowdy one. Issei awkwardly said. Trish smiled and recalled the memories she had with Dante. That's an understatement, but you're right, the guy battled all sorts of demons with a light heart, not even caring for his own safety, and always played or mocked the hell out of them. Trish reminisced. Ugh, tell me about it, he always knows how to piss people and demons off. Kalina rolled her eyes. Sounds like he led the life of a badass. Issei chuckled. Trish smiled and nodded at Issei. Nero leaned forward on his desk. So, kid, how's that fight of yours with the fallen angel leader? Nero asked, surprising the rest except Issei and Kalina. Went well, bastard even announced God's death, the balls on that asshole, he's lucky the guy who wanted him, needed him alive. Issei scowled. You're taking jobs already? Who's the big guy who requested it? Nero asked in excitement. It's the actual leader of the fallen angels, the governor general of the fallen angels, Azazel. Issei answered. Nero whistled. Why did he recruit you for the job? Nero followed up. He couldn't do the dirty work himself since he's a leader, and leaders can't interfere much, especially when you're trying to lay low in devil territory. The target went rogue and tried to start a war by fusing the Excalibur, tried killing two of the Mayu's little sisters who both I consider my mates, and there was absolutely no way I'd let that shit slide. Issei summarized. How'd the fight go? Nero asked again. Bastard taunted me by saying that he'll take mom here. I was pissed of course, but I had to calm down and make him think he had an actual chance against me. Issei answered with Nero's eyes widening at the mention of Kalina being involved. Mates, as in your girls? Naiko now asked. Yeah. Issei answered bluntly. Whoa, hold the phone. You have two smokin' hot babes as your girls. This could only mean one thing. Naiko trailed off. He has better luck with women than Dante. Everyone in the room except Issei said simultaneously. Everyone burst out laughing minus Issei, who had a confused look. What gives? Issei asked in confusion. Nero partially stopped laughing. If Kalina hasn't told you yet, your grandfather Dante had the worst luck with women, well until he and Lady settled down. Nero explained. I see. Issei now chuckled. By the way, Issei, do you have pictures of them? Kiri requested. Issei pulled out his phone. I do, here they are. Issei swiped through two photos of Riaz and Sona in their school uniforms. Wow, they all look like models. I especially like the one with red hair, she compliments your eyes well. Kiri compared Issei and Riaz looks. Yeah, no kidding, the one in glasses looks like a real stickler. Naiko remarked. You're right, Naiko-san, being the student council president trains you to be a real stickler for the rules, but she does have a rowdy side. Issei lightly scratched his cheek. Belina had a devious smirk on her face. By rowdy side, you mean the time you banged the two of them in the Citri chick's house? Kalina said in a teasing manner. What? Everyone exclaimed. Mom? Issei had a deep blush. To think that young Issei here would bed two women, what has the world come into? Nero said with a light chuckle. Little Sirzechs, you sure would make your daddy proud. Naiko cheerfully said. Dragon's charm, I guess. Issei awkwardly chuckled. Enough about my son's sex life, I have here his big fight on tape. Kalina proudly brought out her camera. Ooh, this should be good. Trish grabbed the camera and hooked it up to the TV where everyone sat across it. Wonder what the kid can do in battle. Nero said in curiosity. Oh, he won't disappoint. Kalina proudly said. The video played displaying Issei's combat prowess for the full duration of the fight, impressing Nero, Trish, and Naiko in particular. I'll be damned, Issei, you have a bad set of armor, and you nailed Dante, Kalina, and my father's moves, and I'm surprised that you already found two of Dante's missing devil arms. Great job, kid. Nero genuinely complimented Issei. Haha. That was a brutal beatdown, you really had him when you disappeared for a moment there. Trish remarked. You said it, Trish, he's got all the moves and a growing arsenal of weapons. Naiko added. Well, now that we've seen Issei's fight, does anyone wants to eat lunch? I'm starving. Kalina's stomach grumbled. Kiri's eyes brightened up, remembering a great place all of them should go to. Kalina, how about we go to the restaurant you first brought Sirzechs to? It'd be nice for Issei to see and eat where his parents had their first date. Kiri suggested. Perfect. The curry there's good, and don't worry son, last time I remembered that place catered all types of food. Kalina assured her son. Sounds great. Issei said excitedly. Alright, let's get everyone ready and head out. Kiri walked out to change. Nero and Issei were left sitting on the couch as all the ladies went away to change. So, Issei, have you used your full power yet? Nero asked the boy. No, not yet at least, but something in me tells me that I need to get stronger, I need the power to fulfill Dad's wish. Issei gripped his fist. Nero smiled at Issei's answer. Good answer, at least I know that you won't go down my father's path. You can always be stronger than the current you, but never for your own gain, always use your power for a good cause, remember that Issei. Nero gave advice to the young hybrid. I will, thanks Nero. Issei thanked his first cousin. All the ladies walked out in their casual clothes. Kiri wore a gray sweater that has its front loosely tucked in her blue jeans and white heels. Naiko wore a gray tank top with jean shorts and her cowboy boots. Trish wore her usual outfit plus an open white leather jacket. Kalina on the other hand kept her outfit the way it is. Alright, we're ready, let's get going. Naiko walked towards the shop's garage with everyone following. Issei was last in line and saw a weapons workshop that had him drooling from the weapons he saw, and a sick-looking van that has seen a lot of battles. Yo, little Sirzechs, wipe that spit on your face and get in, you're last. Naiko called out. The trip to the restaurant was not a quiet one, everyone on board bombarded Issei with questions that were mostly them poking on Issei's two mates. Half an hour later they arrive at the place. All of them exited the vehicle, and Issei was impressed by the grand-looking restaurant in front of them. Kalina looked at the place with a smile on her face. Now it's his turn, Sirzechs. Kalina said to herself. Whoa, just by looking at this place already gives me fancy restaurant vibes. Issei said impressed. Yeah, it is. Oh. I just remembered, your father and I used to come here a lot when we were still living here. And you needed a reservation to get in, but the owner gave us black card that if we presented it here, we won't be needing a reservation. It's a good thing I still have it with me because none of us called in advance. Kalina brought out a black card from her wallet. Sweet, Kalina always has something handy. Naiko took a hit from her cigarette. The group entered the restaurant where all the restaurant patrons had their eyes on 3 people, them being Issei, Kalina, and Nero. Kalina went up to the receptionist's desk and saw a very familiar face. It was the same waitress that served her and Sirzechs all those years ago, who looks older now. Good afternoon, do you have a reservation? Wait, are you Ms. Kalina? The receptionist asked Kalina. Yes, I am, and I remember a familiar face when I see one. Kalina smiled. How long has it been? And where's Mr. Sirzechs? She asked. Years, but he's gone now. Kalina answered. Oh. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have asked. The receptionist slightly bowed. It's fine, I actually brought our son here, he's pretty eager to chow down here, I hope the curry in this place is still good, Kalina chuckled. It still is. She clasped her hands together. How are you holding up? Kalina now asked. I've been promoted to branch manager, though today I have to cover for our receptionist who's out with a fever. The manager answered. Whoa, good job. And we'll have a table for 6 please, we're starving here. Kalina grinned. Of course, you still have your black card, right? The manager asked. Kalina brought out the said card. Yes, I do. And handed it over. The manager checks if there are seats available for them. Alright, I found your seats, please follow me. The manager gestured for them to follow. She led them to their seats and on the way, everyone they passed through gave them glances of admiration, mostly the men since most of the group is comprised of women. Damn, look at them, it's like a family of supermodels came in. Look at the boy there, he looks so young, and their eyes are so beautiful. You're right, and all their clothing is on point. They must have won the genetic lottery, just look at their hair, it all suits them perfectly. That cowgirl over there looks hot as hell. No. Look at the blonde and brunette, they're both bangers. Various diners all said. The group made it to their table and were handed a menu each. Ready to order? The manager asked. Yep, and I'll have the katsu curry for old time's sake. Kalina had a wide grin on her face. Extra serving of rice and curry, a pizza with everything on it except olives and a large iced coffee, right? Manager asked. Yep. And a strawberry sundae too. Kalina ordered and the manager nodded. The manager shifted her glance to Issei. Alright, anything for you, young man? She asked Issei. I'll have your ramen challenge here with a large serving of gyoza and a large iced coffee too. Issei pointed at the ramen on his menu. The manager immediately sweat dropped. See, certainly. Is he insane? It's a whole 10 kilos of tonkatsu ramen and chashu pork. Well, given that his mother and father were heavy eaters, I should have expected this. Would you like to take on the challenge? If you complete the meal in 30 minutes, it's free of charge. She asked. Yes please. Issei answered. Alright, how about the rest? The manager asked. I'll have the carbonara with iced tea. I'll have a large pepperoni pizza and coke. A strip steak for me, medium rare and the unlimited beer. I'll have 2 servings of the shepherd's pie and a hot chocolate. Kiri, Trish, Naiko, and Nero ordered. Alright, we'll have your food out as soon as we can. The manager walked off. Issei had stars in his eyes just looking at the menu, even though he ordered a ton of food. Liking the place so far? Kalina asked. Yeah, there's so much more food I want to order. Issei said in excitement. Go easy on it, you have a challenge to do, right? Kalina answered. Yeah, I don't even know how much food my order will come with. Issei had an awkward smile. Yo, Lil Sirzechs, you mentioned that your shotgun needed work. Naiko asked. Yeah, I thought that you can give it other properties, as long as you have a catalyst for it, much like Nero and his devil breakers before. Issei explained. Naiko grabbed her chin. If you have the materials for it, I'll see what I can do, and how the heck did you know about Nero and his devil breakers? Naiko asked. Well, I saw them from Mom's memory hologram when we watched how her and Dad's lives played out here, and Nero mentioned it when I first met him and showed me a pocket watch that let us train for 4 months in a span of 4 days in real time, so I thought of his devil breakers having magical properties from materials that came from creatures with unique powers and any other sources. Issei deduced. Everyone in the table had looks of surprise from Issei's deduction skills. Wow, you're smarter than you look, Lil Sirzechs, don't worry, as soon as we get home, we can work on that shotgun of yours. Naiko smiled. 20 minutes passed and the food they ordered arrived. The staff prepared an extra table for Issei's meal, fearing that its weight alone will cause the table to tip over. "Here are your orders." A staff member laid down their food in front of them. The manager brought out a timer. "And for the Supreme Tonkatsu Challenge, your time starts now." She pressed the timer to count down. Issei took a deep breath and immediately chowed down on the ramen bowl. He starts off by eating everything from the top, starting with a whole 2 logs of chashu that took the most amount of time to complete. He made quick work of the vegetables that were practically nothing in his stomach. 20 minutes. The manager announced. Kalina and the others were eating but stopped for a moment and peeked at Issei's progress. Issei moved on to the soft-boiled eggs that amassed to 15 eggs, making him feel a little stuffed. Finally, after munching down the eggs, all that was left was the broth and noodles. 15 minutes. Issei slurped on the noodles for as much as his mouth can take and swallowed everything. He continued doing this for the next 10 minutes until only the creamy broth was left. Issei grabbed the bowl with his 2 hands. "Final stretch," Issei said in excitement. The enormous bowl of ramen is seen tipping over as a confident Issei drank the whole thing down, as if it was a regular bowl of ramen, and with 3 minutes to spare, Issei finished the challenge. "Burp. Congratulations, you've completed the challenge," the manager happily said. What they didn't notice was that the other diners were eagerly watching Issei complete the whole challenge. After the announcement of the manager was made, cheers and claps of the crowd reverberate throughout the restaurant after witnessing Issei do such a feat. The manager brought out a camera. "Please pose with the bowl for your commemorative picture." Snap snap. The manager gave Issei a copy of the photo and one for the restaurant wall, which, Issei was the only one to ever complete the challenge in the allotted time. "Phew, that was great, can I get your burger here? The one that's a full pound with every topping you can put on it," Issei requested, eating his gyoza. The manager's eyes darkened from shock. "Oh, of course," she said, nervously taking Issei's order to the kitchen. "You sure have Sirzechs' appetite, haha." Naiko took a swig of her beer. "No kidding, I know my appetite is big, but Issei straight up blew mine out of the water," Kalina remarked. "And it seems that he favors burgers instead of pizza," Nero added. "What's that about?" Issei asked in confusion. "It's a trope amongst us Spartas. Well, on Dante's side of the family, each one of them has a favorite food that they religiously eat. Dante has pizza, Kalina has curry, and you have burgers," Nero explained. "Now that you mention it, I do eat a lot of them in the fast food joint back in Kuo," Issei recalled. "So, out of all the favorite foods, which of them do you think is the best?" Trish asked, taking a bite of her pizza. In terms of overall nutritional value, pizza would be the pick since it's got everything you need. Burgers are in the same case with pizza, but on the meatier side, and curry, I'll have as a comfort food," Issei answered. "How about you, Nero? Got a favorite?" Issei asked. "I do love Kiri's cooking, but for a favorite, I don't have one, I'm happy with what's on the table," Nero answered. Issei shifted his gaze towards Kalina. "I see, how about you, Mom? What made you love curry?" "Read it on a pamphlet and I went to a place that serves curry, which coincidentally was this place, and was obsessed with it ever since, and that's also the reason you see tons of curry ingredients in our house," Kalina answered and ate a scoop of her sundae. "No wonder there's a lot of potatoes back home," Issei deadpanned with Kalina laughing out loud. The manager arrived with Issei's additional order. "Here's your order, please do enjoy it," she smiled. Issei smiled. "Thank you, and I will." Issei took a bite of the burger. "Wow, gourmet burgers are something else, this is nothing compared to the ones back in Kuo." Issei's eyes widened. "It's a baller-ass restaurant for a reason," Kalina chuckled. Issei and the rest finished eating. Kalina ordered takeout for Riaz and Asia and paid for everyone and exited the restaurant. The manager escorted them outside. "Will we see you and your son again, Ms. Kalina?" she asked. Kalina smiled. "Maybe, it's expensive here, so we may only come here for special occasions, and by the way, my son loved the food here." Kalina entered the van. "I'm glad he did, goodbye, for now, Ms. Kalina." The manager waved. Inside the van with the Issei and everyone, Issei was seen tracing the restaurant as they went farther away from it. Kalina noticed her son's actions. "Something caught your eye, Issei?" she asked. "We're coming here again, right?" Issei asked. "Yeah, but next time, you're paying. You did get that expensive painting from Azazel, right?" Kalina asked. "Yeah, as long as you have that black card of yours, then we're good," Issei answered. The trip back home was faster than anticipated, mostly because of Naiko driving like a mad lad from the excitement of working on Issei's Orion. Naiko immediately jumped out of the van and put on her work clothes. "So, Lil Sirzechs, what does she need working on?" Naiko asked the boy. Issei summoned Orion from his pocket dimension along with the jewel from the White Dragon Empress's armor. I need you to implant the dividing powers of the Vanishing Dragon to Orion. Issei requested and handed over the gun and jewel to Nico. A massive smile crept up on Nico's face. Whoa, never thought I'd see this type of material in my entire life. Nico admitted. What can you do with it? Issei asked. Give me a few hours and she'll be a real banger. Nico grinned. Issei went to the living room where Kalina was sitting on the couch and Nero sat on a chair. Issei sat with his mother where Nero and she looked at each other, quietly signaling something to each other. Nero and Kalina vanished from Issei's sight where the two reappeared with their weapons in hand striking Issei, but to their surprise, Issei blocked their attacks with an eye and Rudra. Issei had a shocked face on him. What the hell are you two doing? Issei asked in shock. Kalina and Nero put down their weapons. Nothing much, just a quick test. Kalina chuckled. Yeah, and you definitely passed, kiddo. Nero shrugged. We had a feeling this was coming. And I and Rudra finished their sentence reverting to their ring form. What's it about then? Issei asked in confusion. Just testing if you put down your guard after that meal. Kalina grinned. Whatever. Issei sat down again. A few hours pass and Issei gets called by Nico. Lil Sirzechs. Come here, your shotty's ready. Nico called out. Issei went to Nico's workshop where she's still doing the final tweaks to Orion. So, what's the progress? Issei closed in on Nico's workbench. Just couple more adjustments, and done. Here she is, Lil Sirzechs, Divine Orion. Nico presented the newly modified gun to Issei. Issei grabbed the gun and was amazed at Nico's handiwork. The shotgun's appearance drastically changed from its regular wood and black metal colorway to mainly being silver and accented by blue and the gem from the armor. Whoa, this looks and feels amazing, Nico-san. Issei played with his new shotgun, doing a one-handed cock as the jewel glows from being primed. Gotta show my best in front of Sirzechs' boy. Nico said amused. Thanks a lot, Nico-san, I'll be sure to come to you when my other weapons need work. Issei smiled. Don't mention it, just be sure to pay me next time, haha. Nico chuckled. Issei went back to Kalina with his new shotgun in hand. Whoa, Issei, when did you get your shotgun a new look? Kalina asked. I had Nico-san give the gun the dividing powers from the gem I got. Issei slowly stroked his new gun. Kalina was a bit weirded out by his son's actions. Ugh, whatever, we leave in an hour. She deadpanned. Alright. Issei answered. Hey Kalina. Morrison's here. Nero called out. Who's that? Issei asked. Just an old fart who gets us jobs. Kalina said amused. The pair made their way to Nero's table, and Issei was presented with an old man with dark skin, gray hair, and facial hair, who wore a maroon vest paired with a black blazer, black pants, dress shoes, and a black fedora. Morrison noticed Issei beside Kalina. You must be Kalina's kid, I heard you were in town, so I had to see for myself, J.D. Morrison, at your service. Morrison lit a cigar. Hello Morrison-san, I'm Issei Hyoudou, a pleasure to meet you. Issei bowed. You're right, Trish, he's unlike you guys, he's the opposite he. Morrison remarked. Yep, but when it comes to fighting, he turns over a new leaf. Trish said amused. I bet he does, and you're right, he does look like Dante and Sirzechs. Morrison added. So, got anything for us? You don't usually come here for a friendly visit. Nero spoke up. Yeah, I got a gig, though I don't know when the client's gonna come by. Morrison admitted. Do you have any idea what they want? Nero asked. Not a clue, all they said was that they needed people of your caliber to deal with it, specifically Kalina, she's the sneaky one after all. Morrison pointed at Kalina. Kalina rolled her eyes. Ugh, just when I thought I'd be done with devil hunting. Kalina said in frustration. It's about time you came out of retirement, it's been way too long. Nero said. I guess, but who would want me to do a job this late? It's been 17 years since I did a job for Morrison. Kalina pondered. Whoever it is, let's just hope that it's not another case of V. Nero shrugged. V? Issei now asked. Remember the Clifford incident? He got us in that mess, I'll tell you about it some other time. Kalina answered. I'll call you or Nero when the client's gonna go here. Morrison left the scene. I got a bad feeling about this. Kalina admitted. No kidding, that long and you suddenly get called up. Nero remarked. Yeah, call me up when Morrison has that client go here. Kalina prepared a teleportation circle. You got it. Nero nodded. Issei got in the teleportation circle with Kalina. Good seeing you kid. Trish said to Issei. Yeah, see you soon. Nero waved. Nico and Kiri ran downstairs. See you soon Issei. Kiri smiled. Bring me more materials, Lil Sirzechs. Nico said goodbye. Goodbye everyone, and I will Nico-san. Issei waved as he and Kalina disappeared. "Do you think he's stronger than you and Kalina?" Trish asked. "Yeah, we double-teamed him earlier and deflected us like we were nothing," Nero admitted. "I can already imagine a grand battle and you three just ganging up on some poor soul," Trish said, amused. "Cool-sounding idea, but we haven't seen Kalina use her devil trigger or mine in years," Nero answered. "True, all we can do is wait and see if this job for Kalina can push her that far or you if the job gets you involved." Trish grabbed her chin. "Hi to residents, nighttime." Kalina and Issei arrived just in front of their home and announced their arrival in Asia and Riaz. "We're home," Kalina announced. Riaz was first to go down. "Welcome home, Ice, Kalina-san," she greeted the two. "We brought food for you in Asia." Kalina presented the bag to Riaz. Riaz grabbed and unpacked the food. "Oh, thank you so much, Kalina-san." "Asia-chan, they brought us food," Riaz excitedly said. Asia went down the stairs lightly scratching her eyes. "Oh, Yon Issei-san and Kalina Akasama are back with food," Asia softly said. Asia and Riaz ate the food and were in love with just the sandwiches Kalina brought for them. "Kalina-san, can we please go to wherever you got this?" Riaz asked excitedly with Asia nodding in agreement. "Well, you have to travel to REDGRAVE City, we got this at a restaurant where I took Issei's father for our first date." Kalina smiled. Riaz's mind was filled with scenes that include her and Issei having a date in the restaurant. Oh, I see. "How was your visit with your family?" she asked. "Pretty good, all of them met Issei, and his gun got an upgrade," Kalina summarized. The mention of Issei's gun piqued her interest. "And what was the upgrade, pray tell?" Riaz followed up. "Issei summoned Divine Orion from his pocket dimension. It now has the Vanishing Dragon's power," Issei proudly said. "Wow, you're essentially the perfect warrior, you can overpower your opponent while draining them of their strength," Riaz said in admiration. "So, did anything happen while we were gone?" Issei now asked. "Nothing much, you two were only gone for a day, what do you expect to happen?" Riaz deadpanned. Kalina and Issei had shocked faces from hearing Riaz's last remark, realizing that she was picking up on their rather rough way of speaking. "Alright then." Issei went to his room. Issei is seen in his room laying on his bed waiting for the ladies to finish bathing, until a silver grimoire magic circle appeared in the middle of his room, revealing Grafia. "Issei-sama. My king has requested your presence in her office," Grafia said. "Alright, but why call me all of a sudden?" Issei asked. "It's about your promotion exam, she has important matters to discuss with you," Grafia answered. Issei stood up from his bed. "Alright, lead the way," Issei said. Grafia prepared the teleportation circle for both and went to the underworld. Underworld. Issei and Grafia teleported just outside of Serena's office. Grafia knocked on the office door. "Serena-sama, I have brought Issei Hyoudou," she announced. "Enter." Serena replied. The two entered the office where Serena is going through her paperwork. "Lucifer-sama, you summoned me?" Issei respectfully said. "Ah yes, I did. I wanted to say to you personally that your promotion exams will be held tomorrow, and here's the kicker, you will undergo the physical exam despite us seeing you perform against Riser, rather it was requested by Ajuka, you've piqued his interest," Serena explained. "TT tomorrow I don't know a single thing about your history or language," Issei said in frustration. "That's why I lend you a helping hand. Grafia, if you would." Serena smiled. Grafia approached one of Serena's bookshelves, she picked out 2 books that contain the language and history of the devils, and gave them to Issei. "Any sort of help is appreciated, but why help me?" Issei asked. Serena cupped her left cheek. "I've grown fond of you," Serena admitted. Grafia couldn't hide her shock at what her king just said, even Issei couldn't hide his flustered face. "Barely are sisters, Ria said the same thing when I wanted to fight Riser," Issei thought. "Thank you, I guess, but how am I supposed to study these books in one night?" Issei asked. "Oh, you don't need to study every page, I personally marked all the pages you'll be needing to study, and it's very little, I'm sure you can cram everything in one night," Serena explained. "Alright, will that be all? I really need to get going, your sister may start looking for me." Issei prepared to leave. "One more thing, please come here." Serena gestured for him to come. Serena closed in on Issei's ear and whispered, "Good luck." Serena softly bit Issei's ear. Issei jumped back from the shock. "I'll be going now, goodbye." Issei bowed and teleported out. "Are you sure you claim him?" Grafia asked. I don't know myself, I want to be with him, but I also want Riaz to be happy," Serena said. "You do realize that he's half dragon, and dragons, if they choose to, can have multiple wives," Grafia reminded her king. "I know, but Riaz can be possessive at times," Serena sighed. I don't think she can influence Issei Sama's decisions, and looking from his past, it would seem that he'd very much want a harem for himself. Grafia recalled. You're right, all I can hope for is that he sees me as Serena Gremory, not as one of the great Satans. Serena said. You made it pretty obvious to him, but only time will tell what he really feels for you. Grafia smiled. Issei's room. Issei made it just time to his room as Riaz came in with a confused face. Ice, why do I sense my sister on you? Riaz asked in an irritated tone. She gave me study material, here. Issei brought out the books. There's more, isn't it? Riaz crossed her arms. Issei sighed. She bit my ear, that's all. Issei shrugged. I swear she can be a little direct. Riaz sighed. She definitely is. Issei deadpanned. Issei went off and took a bath before reading the books Serena had given her, using Boost to increase his memorization and understanding of the two subjects, where he had a firm grasp of the language and history of devils and was confident that he'd pass the exams no problem. Clubroom, noon. The orc members and Issei are seen going about their business as they skipped classes via club activities. Ice, do you have any plans later? Riaz asked. Yeah, I'm going to the underworld to take my high-class promotion exam. Issei answered. The orc members sported surprised looks. High class? That quick? Riaz said in shock. Yeah, apparently, I need to be high class in order to legally participate in raiding games or any demonic activities the underworld has, according to your sister at least. Issei explained. I see, well good luck, you're gonna need it. When I took the exam, I barely passed both written and physical. Riaz bashfully said. I don't know how I'll do in the written, but I'm sure that I'll pass the physical aspect of it. Issei said with hesitation. Do you mind if we watch your fight? Riaz asked with the other club members nodding in agreement. Sure. I gotta go now, I don't want to be late. Issei teleported out. So, everyone, who do you think will fight Issei? Riaz asked her peerage. I'm not too sure, but I can only think of a handful of people who can give Issei-kun a good fight. Kiba answered. I agree with Hyoudou-kun, Ice-kun's power far outmatches every one of the current takers. I'm pretty sure that they need to bring in someone special to fight him, but who could it be? Akeno trailed off. I just hope that he passes everything. Asia added. Same. Kaneko nonchalantly said. Suddenly a knock was heard from the door of the room. Enter. Riaz answered. The doors opened and revealed a familiar Blanette and Zenobia. The devils inside the room immediately took defensive stances. What are you doing here? Riaz demanded. Relax, I'm not here to hurt any of you. Zenobia answered. So, what brings you here? Riaz asked. Make me your servant. Zenobia answered, shocking all the orc members. Underworld, exam hall. Issei is seen with Grafia, who was requested by Serena to escort Issei to the exam hall, where all physical and written exams are taken. Grafia stopped just outside the gates. This is as far as I can take you, good luck, Issei-sama. She bowed and teleported out. Issei walked into the hall and was immediately met with stares from the crowd. Hey, isn't that the guy who defeated Riser? He's the descendant of Sparta, one of the strongest devils in history. I wouldn't want to face him in the physical exams. He's dressed to impress, he's got quite the taste for long coats. Various onlookers commented. Issei went inside one of the rooms where he was designated and prepared to take the test. Good day everyone, I'll be your proctor for your exams. Despite being devils, I hope that none of you cheats and keeps a clean slate because you are only given one chance to take the exams per year. Now, you'll be given an hour to complete each subject, history is first and language is last. And your physical exams will be held in an hour after the written portion. The proctor explained. The proctor gave out the tests to everyone in the room. You may begin taking the test. Now. He started a timer. Issei started to sweat profusely. Drake, can you boost my brain? Issei talked to his dragon. I can, but don't you have confidence in your own ability? The current Lucifer did give you a helping hand. Drake answered. Ugh, fine, but if I struggle even for a bit, do it, alright. Issei requested. Don't worry, I will. Drake said in his head. Issei began the test and was surprised to see that Serena was right, everything she highlighted in the book she gave was on the test. An hour passed and Issei finished history in half the allotted time, surprising the proctor. Written language was next, and this is where he had a few bumps to go over, but nevertheless finished the exam on time. Time's up. Submit your papers in a single line please. The proctor announced. Issei left the room and had the best breath of air he's had in a while. See partner? Did you really need a boost from such an easy test? Drake mocked Issei. Oh, can it, you overgrown lizard, you were right, I didn't need to. Issei answered with Drake growling in his head. Walking down the hall he noticed a familiar face in Sona who was with her queen Tsubaki. "Oh, Sona, Tsubaki, what are you two doing here?" he asked. "Hello, Issei, we were just looking at the requirements to take the middle and high class exams," Sona answered. "And what about you? What brings you here?" Sona added. "I took my high class promotion exam, physical exams are up next in an hour," Issei answered. Sona sported a surprised look. "Wow, high class already? You must have had someone set you up," Sona speculated. "Yes, because of my evil pieces, remember?" Issei said. Oh yeah, about your physical exam, do you mind if we watch?" Sona asked. "I don't mind, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna attract a few pairs of eyes while I fight," Issei sarcastically said. "Anyway, wanna take a stroll while we wait?" Issei offered. Sona looked at Tsubaki and nodded. "We'd love to." Sona smiled. Issei, Sona and Tsubaki walked through the halls, as numerous onlookers had a few things to say about them. "Are they dating? I thought Ria's Gremory was the Sparta's lover." There's a very chill vibe surrounding the three of them. Ugh, how did the Citri and Gremory clans get their hands on this specimen? Talk about a crowd, eh Sona? Issei said amused. "Tell me about it, we can't even walk without rumors brewing." Sona adjusted her glasses. The trio made their way to a food hall that was conveniently near them that was exclusive for high-class devils. Sona had to talk her way to include Issei with them as they made their way through and took their seats. "Hyoudou-kun, do you mind telling us if you're looking still for peerage members?" Tsubaki asked. "Yeah, I do, I just don't know who to add yet, but I do hope I find someone soon," Issei answered. "I see, one more question, when is it my turn to have a bodily experience with you?" Tsubaki bluntly asked. "Tsubaki?" Sona exclaimed. Issei spat out some of his drink in shock. I don't have an answer for you, yet," Issei awkwardly answered. "Unfortunate, I'm quite jealous of Sona here, ever since that day, whenever we were alone, she'd always daydream about you having sex with her, she'd always squirm around and lustfully call out your name." Tsubaki spilt the beans. Sona was red as a tomato from embarrassment. "Seriously, Sona? You know you can just call me whenever you need some relief," Issei teased. I'll keep that in mind." Sona trailed off. "Ah, Tsubaki-san, if you really want me, then prove it, how you do it is up to you." Tsubaki smiled. "Alright, I'll take you up on the challenge." She spoke. "Issei, on a more serious note, do you really love Rias? I admit that I have feelings for you, and I don't mind sharing you, but as Ria's best friend, I need to know." Sona asked. Issei was momentarily lost. "I do, even before becoming what I am now, I've always admired her, I don't know how to explain it, but what I have with her now is something special to me, and something in me tells me that I need to take care of it and make it blossom into something more." Issei said, earning surprised looks from Sona and Tsubaki. "I see, then I have no problems with that, but seriously, mark someone, Issei, we can't wait for much longer." Sona teased. "I agree with Sona, Hyoudou-kun, my patience is running thin as well." Tsubaki smiled. Nearly an hour passes, and an announcement was made through magical means that the physical exams will begin soon. "Looks like it's time to brawl. Wish me luck." Issei walked off. "You don't need it." Sona chuckled. "Come now, Tsubaki, let's watch his match." Sona added with her queen following. Physical exams arena. A lot of combatants participated in the physical exams for high-class promotion, which was moderated by Ajuka Beelzebub, much to the surprise of everyone in the building. In the exams, less than half of those who came in earlier were left, and even fewer of them passed the physical aspect of it. Now it was only Issei, who was surprised to find out that he was matched up with no one in his class earlier. "Issei Sparta Hyoudou, please make your way to the arena," Ajuka announced. As soon as those words left Ajuka's mouth, all eyes were on Issei and whoever his mystery opponent is, waiting in anticipation until Akuja made another announcement. "Issei Sparta Hyoudou, your opponent will be the former Dragon King, Tannen," Ajuka announced, shocking everyone present. "What? Tannen isn't he ultimate class? I know that Spartas are powerful, but I don't he stands a chance against a Dragon King. Is this really a high-class promotion exam?" Various onlookers said. "Well, Tsubaki, this should be an interesting match," Sona said. "I know, even though Hyoudou-kun defeated Tiamat, Tannen is a different dragon. Tiamat may be the strongest amongst the Dagon kings, but Tannen is the most well-versed fighter amongst them," Tsubaki answered. "Looks like we made it in time." Ria's voice was heard. "Rias? What are you doing here?" Sona asked. "Did you really think I'd miss Issei's promotion?" Ria's deadpan surprising Sona and her queen. He definitely rubbed off on her. Sona and Tsubaki simultaneously thought. "But Issei. You know anything about him, Drake?" Issei asked. Tannen, huh, we were friends when I was still alive, he even fought your father before, of course, your father won, but be careful partner, Tiamat may be the stronger than him, but he's far craftier than all the dragon kings, so keep your wits about you. Drake warned. I see, so he's more battle-hardened than all of them, huh? Issei said. Yeah, and I think this is where your new shotgun can be used. Drake said. You're right, let's see if Nico Sen's magic on this thing was worth it. Issei summoned Divine Orion and Severance on each of his hands. Issei felt a massive presence enter the arena, and it was Tannen. Tannen is a 20-meter tall western dragon who stands on two legs. He has dark purple scales, a beige underbelly, lavender eyes, two massive yellow horns on his head, and on top of that, he wears a pair of black armored pauldrons on each shoulder and a loincloth decorated with metallic accessories. Tannen approached the boy and was surprised to feel the draconic aura from Issei. You, young Drake, why do I sense a familiar presence in you? Tannen asked. Do you mean Sirzechs, Tannen? Drake answered for Issei. As Sirzechs, I thought he died. Did he not? Tannen said in shock. He did die, not until he sealed his hatchling's powers, being my host here. Drake answered. I see, so your host is Sirzechs' hatchling, tell me your name, boy. Tannen said. Issei Hyoudou, a pleasure to meet you Tannen-sama. Issei bowed. You're a strange one alright, much like your father, not a prideful dragon, but still powerful, and the most terrifying dragons are those who demonstrate their wrath in the calmest way possible, and that is who your father was. I hope you can live up to what he did. Tannen crossed his arms. I won't disappoint. Issei confidently said. A sudden change of demeanor. He definitely has a hunger for a good battle. Tannen thought. Alright, show me a good time, boy. Tannen prepared. With Ajuka. The light blue Sparta magic circle appeared just behind Ajuka, who was sitting and watching over Issei and Tannen's fight. Tiamat came out of the circle. So, Ajuka, who'd you set up to fight Issei? Tiamat took her seat next to the Mao. Tannen, I know that you're stronger than him, but I didn't see enough of your king's capabilities. Ajuka answered. I see, this should be a good battle for him. Tannen is more of a patient fighter, he always waits for the right time to strike. He may not be as strong as me, but he knows how to use every tool he has in battle, and if Issei manages to corner Tannen enough, he'll drop the patient fighter style to a brawler. Tiamat explained. Ajuka grabbed his chin. That's true, but I am more curious with Issei-kun's increasing arsenal of weapons and unique combat styles, how good of a warrior do you think he'll become? Ajuka asked. Possibly the strongest, and I stand by that. Sparta and his kin were proficient in every weapon they touch, surpassing even the greatest swordsmen we know, and with 3 more of his grandfather's lost weapons still left, the numerous styles that can practically be used in any situation, and the fact that he's half dragon, then we have more to see of his combat prowess. Tiamat answered. Is that so? Then, for now, all we can do is watch him. Ajuka said with Tiamat nodding. But Issei and Tannen. Alright, let's do this. Issei dashed at Tannen with Severance in hand. Tannen immediately blocked the attack with his hand. So predictable. Tannen kicked Issei up, making him airborne. Issei deployed his wings to stop him from falling. Damn, that hurt. Issei clutched his gut. Tannen wasted no time and flew up himself, blasting Issei with a barrage of fireballs that burned the boy to a degree. Is that all you can do? So far, you're disappointing me. Tannen bellowed. I'm just getting started. Issei charged in again, but this time he had an eye and rudder. Issei stopped just in front of Tannen, who didn't expect the sudden stop in movement. He was hit by a point-blank flame attack from Issei, causing him to fly back a bit to assess the damage. Not bad, but not good enough. Tannen flew towards Issei at blinding speeds. Tannen reared his fist back and hit Issei with a downward punch, sending the boy careening to the ground and creating a big crater. You done, boy? I did not expect you to be this weak. Tannen scoffed. The green light was seen penetrating the smoke created from Tannen's attack, and the voice of Drake can be heard. Boost 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 Drake announced. Try this on for size. Issei fired a massive beam from Kalanan and 2. Tannen easily dodged the attack and went down again to Issei, firing a larger fireball directly hitting Issei. Come on, you're better than that. Sirzechs would have been disappointed. Tannen scoffed. Got any ideas, Drake? That last one hurt like a bitch. Issei asked, struggling to get up. Nothing really, you were sloppy today, now you face the consequence. Drake answered. Yep, I really need to sharpen up. Wait, I got it. An idea popped up inside Issei's head. What do you intend to do? Drake asked. I'm gonna fight him as a dragon. Issei began his transformation. Now this I want to see, I haven't seen you fight in your dragon form, go for it partner. Drake said in high spirits. Issei glowed an orange light and was rapidly expanding in size, resembling a dragon silhouette as he grew larger. What's this now? Tannen pondered. The light faded and revealed Issei's dragon form in all its glory, the 4 glowing wings and horns, and surprisingly stands on 2 legs, captivating the crowd. Wow, his dragon form looks more beautiful than I expected, and the first time I've seen it. Sona had stars in her eyes and started taking pictures of Issei's dragon form. Yeah, it looks western, but it has an elegance to it. Riaz remarked and did the same. It's so beautiful. Ice-Kun's dragon form looks so majestic. Cool. Kaneko said with a hint of emotion. Wow, but I wonder if Issei-kun can use his weapons while in his dragon form. The rest of the orc commented. But Ajuka and Tiamat. This is the first time I've seen his dragon form, and frankly, I'm turned on from it. Tiamat licked her fingers. I sensed that he used a size-altering spell, perhaps he limited his size to suit his fighting style. Ajuka pondered. Yeah, I'm sure that its real size is a lot bigger than that, and he stands on 2 legs like Tannen, which makes sense considering that he uses a lot of weapons. Tiamat remarked. Arena. Ooh, so this is your dragon form, impressive, young Drake. Tannen said. Issei summoned a size-appropriate version of Severance and pointed it at Tannen. This is where we fight for real, geezer. Issei activated swords formation. Issei dashed in and swiped at Tannen, hitting him with his sword and with its 4 summoned swords damaging the dragon. Not bad at all, but you have to do better if you want to beat me. Tannen charged in, seeing an opening in Issei. Tannen fired a small barrage of fireballs, momentarily distracting Issei and preparing to strike him from behind. Amidst his kick, he felt as if a wall hit his leg. The smoke cleared and revealed Issei, whose summoned swords formed a shield protecting him from the attack. Can't bust through. Issei mocked. Not a second less, Issei reared his fist back and directly hit Tannen with an uppercut, sending him flying through the air. He used Trick to catch up to Tannen and equipped Cavalier and did heavy damage to the dragon and followed up with an axe kick that sent Tannen straight back down with so much force that it created a massive crater and shook the arena. That's more like it. Tannen got up with a little bit of struggle. That's what I like to hear, let's go. Issei charged in. Tannen and Issei briefly clashed fists, and both were sent back flying by the force of their punches. Both dashed in again, but as Tannen was about to hit Issei, he disappeared from Tannen's sight using Trick to teleport just behind the dragon. Issei then equipped Divine Orion and hit Tannen square on the back, sapping him of his strength and damaging him greatly. What was that? Don't tell me you have Albion's power too. Tannen demanded. Grade secret, can't tell you everything. Issei winked. Issei continued his assault on the weakened Tannen and peppered the dragon with a flurry of slashes from an Eye and Rudra that left him on his last leg. Issei upped the tempo and finished things off with Severance, hitting the dragon continuously and finishing the fight with a huge boosted swing of Severance that sent Tannen to the arena wall. Tannen's pride won't let him go down just yet. As a last-ditch effort, he coated his entire body in his flames and charged at Issei. He hit the other dragon with a flurry of rapid punches, sending Issei back with a haymaker that did significant damage. That was good, come on. Give me more. Tannen taunted. As you wish. Issei summoned Severance in its katana form. Issei performed a barrage of judgment cuts, all of them hitting Tannen directly. Issei followed the free-falling Tannen and hit him with a devastating helm breaker from Cavalier, ending the battle. Issei reverted to his human form. How's that? He asked confidently. I concede. Tannen weakly said. The match is finished. Issei Hyoudou wins and is now promoted to a high-class devil. Ajuka announced. Paramedics immediately went to Tannen and administered Phoenix Tears on the dragon, healing his physical wounds fully, but not his stamina. Tannen stood up from the rubble, dusting himself of. I must say, Issei Hyoudou, that was quite a battle you gave me. Tannen admitted. Thank you, Tannen-sama, but I need to learn more. I was sloppy today. Issei bowed. Sloppy? Don't mess around now, I haven't had a beating like that ever since. Well, your father handed me the beating. Tannen chuckled. I see, though I have one request if you can grant it. Issei asked. If it's within my power. Tannen nodded. But teach me more about being a dragon. I mostly know combat from my demonic side. Having someone like you teach me the ways of being a dragon would be best for me. Issei said. To teach the son of the third heavenly dragon would be nice, but give me time to think it over. Tannen walked off. Thank you so much, Tannen-sama. Issei bowed and went to the lobby. Tiamat teleported in front of Issei with a big smile plastered on her face. What is it? Issei asked. Tiamat embraced the boy. Congratulations on being promoted, Issei. Tiamat excitedly said. Thank you, but could you let me go? Your kind is splitting my spine in two. Tiamat complied. Oh, I'm sorry, but I just can't help but be so happy for my master to be finally recognized as a high class. I dare say, your ultimate class already. Issei scratched the back of his head. Now that's just flattery, I've got a long way to go. And by the way, do you like it? Issei asked. Like what? Tiamat asked in confusion. By dragon form, it's the first time you've seen it, right? Issei bashfully said. Tiamat closed in on Issei. Oh, I don't like it. I love it. Tiamat seductively whispered. Issei for a moment lost control over his senses, but soon regained control after Tiamat's antics. I see, I'm glad you loved it. Issei smiled. Now that you're high class, don't you think I should give you a reward? Tiamat pushed her breasts up for Issei to see. Must not fall into her trap, you're a Sparta, Issei, seduction like this is nothing to you. Issei reprimanded himself. Tiamat purposely nudged herself up to make her bosom jiggle. Don't you want these and more, my master? Tiamat said. Issei at this point lost all control, and one of his eyes went from crimson to his draconic yellow. He closed in on Tiamat. I'll gladly accept it. Issei groped Tiamat's breasts. Tiamat's instincts took over her as well. Let's take this somewhere else. Tiamat teleported both of them out of the building. The orc with Sona and Tsubaki walked over to where they last sensed Issei. Where could he be? Riaz pondered. Sona remembered what transpired when Tiamat was last with them and came to a realization. Riaz, can you please ask Kaneko-san to sense who Issei was with? Sona asked in a panic. Kaneko. Riaz called for Kaneko, who immediately knew what to do. Issei-senpai's aura is laced with Tiamat's aura. Kaneko said. Riaz and Sona widened their eyes from shock. Sona, I'm sure you know what this means. Riaz said. Yes, but the real question is, will he mark her? Sona answered. Familiar forest, Tiamat's cave. Issei and Tiamat appeared inside her cave, with both making out aggressively, fighting for dominance. Issei dominated the mini battle of tongues they had, and Tiamat fully submitted to him. The two separated from their kiss, but Tiamat wasn't done pleasuring her master. She softly bit Issei's neck and peppered the boy with kisses down to his collarbone, further intensifying the pleasure Issei was feeling. Quite the kisser you are, master, and you took my first two. Tiamat stripped down, buck naked. Issei himself also stripped, revealing his massive member to Tiamat. I learn a lot from observation. Issei grabbed Tiamat. So big. Tiamat knelt. Issei gently strokes Tiamat's hair. It's all yours tonight. Issei whispered. Tiamat began pleasuring Issei's member by stroking it with her hand and licking it while massaging it. You're good at this. Issei moaned. We're just getting started. Tiamat smirked. Tiamat opened her mouth, revealing her elongated tongue, and wrapped it around Issei's, stroking it at a faster. Tia, do it faster. Issei moaned. Tiamat complied and increased her pace, feeling Issei's member swell. Tia. Issei said, blowing his load on Tiamat. Tiamat braced herself but was too late and was covered in Issei's juice. There's so much. And you're still hard. Tiamat swallowed some of it. Tiamat wrapped her two breasts and tongue on Issei's member and began her attack yet again, driven by her lust to make love with Issei, and she was determined to make the most out of this opportunity. Tia, I'm coming. Again. Issei blew another, but Tiamat was fast enough to catch everything with her mouth and swallowed everything. So, this is how master tastes. Tiamat lustfully said. Lie down, Tia. Issei requested. Tiamat complied and prepared herself for Issei. Your body is absolutely incredible. Issei kneaded Tiamat's breasts. Of course, it's all for you, master. Tiamat couldn't hold back a moan. Issei slid his fingers down Tiamat's that was spotless and pure, not a strand of hair was visible. Oh, someone's wet. Issei teased. Ah. You're too good, master, please do me more. Tiamat moaned from Issei's handiwork. Issei did as he was told and intensified pleasuring Tiamat. No, him close. Ahhh. Tiamat screamed. So, Tia, do you want this inside? Issei asked, teasing the female dragon. Tiamat in her couldn't say no even if she was forced to. Yes. I want it inside me, please ravage me, master. Tiamat spread opening for her master lover. Issei grinned and lined his member up with Tiamat's. As you wish. Issei penetrated Tiamat. Just from getting it inside, it feels so good. Tiamat said as Issei's member poked her. Issei began thrusting at a fast pace, his urges were screaming at him to completely dominate Tiamat, and surely enough, he succumbed to it and was entranced by his lust. Yes. 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 Harder, master. Faster. Tiamat said, drowned in pleasure. Issei pulled Tiamat up and kissed the dragon. Tiamat reciprocated the kiss, and the two began making out while Issei ravaging her. Issei broke out of the kiss. How does it feel? He asked. It feels amazing, make me feel more. Tiamat moaned. Issei laid Tiamat back down and bent her over and rammed her doggy. More. 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 Oh my gosh, it feels so good. Tiamat was slowly losing herself from the pleasure. I'm about to, Tia, where do you want it? Issei panted. Inside, planted in me master. Tiamat's eyes rolled back. Issei roared and came inside Tiamat. Me too. There's so much of it, I'm all yours now, Issei. Tiamat's snatch overflowed with Issei's seeds. Issei pulled out and shocked Tiamat, revealing Issei's still erect, much to her delight. Round 2, master. Tiamat stroked Issei. Of course. Issei grabbed Tiamat's hips. Issei penetrated Tiamat while standing up, thrusting his hips slowly and Tiamat sensing with his rhythm. How's this pace feel for you? Issei bit Tiamat's neck. It feels amazing, it's slow and gentle, but it feels so good. Tiamat's body quivered. Good. Issei raised one of Tiamat's legs. Tiamat draped her arms over Issei. Lift me up, please master. Tiamat asked. Issei complied and slammed Tiamat at a rapid pace, the latter hanging on to Issei barely making out words to speak. Tiamat scratched Issei from behind leaving scars on his back. Issei. 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 She moaned. Me too. Issei blew another inside Tiamat. That was amazing. Issei pulled out from Tiamat and both laid down from exhaustion. Same for me, you're so good, master. Tiamat kissed Issei. Issei and Tiamat hugged face to face, not letting go and fell asleep in each other's arms. A few hours passed by, and Issei suddenly woke up from his slumber with Tiamat clinging to his arm. Issei slithered his arm around to get out of Tiamat's grasp. Tiamat stirred awake from the sound of Issei putting on his clothes. Issei. Where are you going? Tiamat groggily asked. Sorry babe, I wish I could spend more time with you, but I don't want to face my mother's wrath. Issei nervously said. Tiamat stood up and got dressed herself. Then she wouldn't mind me escorting you home, won't she? Tiamat asked. That's the last thing I'd want her to see. Issei deadpanned. Oh, come on, I'll take my chances. Tiamat answered. Alright fine, let's go. Issei prepared a teleportation circle. Hyoudou residence, midnight. Issei and Tiamat teleported just outside home, where they cautiously approached the door and entered in complete silence. Mind telling me why you're with Tiamat? Kalina spoke in complete darkness, surprising the two. Using their enhanced vision, Issei and Tiamat saw Kalina just standing in the corner of the kitchen, the latter turning on the lights, revealing herself fully. Mom, hey there, sorry if I came home late. Issei awkwardly said. Yeah sure, what the hell did you do in the underworld anyway? Kalina asked, fully knowing what happened. I took my high-class promotion exam. Issei answered. And? Kalina followed. We had sex. Tiamat bluntly answered. Tia? Issei exclaimed. I know what you two dipshits did, Riaz told me earlier when she came home with Asia, I was just messing around, anyways congrats. Kalina said, completely flipping her demeanor. See? Tia nudged Issei's side. Yeah. Issei deadpanned. But I need to tell you something. Kalina said in a serious tone. Do I need to get out? Tiamat asked. No, if this concerns Issei, then it concerns you as well, Tiamat. Kalina answered. Lay it on me. Issei said. Earlier in the evening, Azazel came here and was looking for you, and to add to that, your rival was with him. Kalina said. Oh, well if he's looking for me, and came here directly, it must be urgent, or he just wants to share a drink with me. Issei answered. You drank with him? Kalina asked furiously. Yeah, it was just a swig, and I was sober in like half an hour, so it's all good. Issei calmly answered. I swear to Grandpa, if you were still human, I'd never allow you to go out ever again. Kalina said in frustration. Kalina shifted her gaze to Tiamat. How about you, Tiamat? What brings you here? She asked. I would like to request living here with your son. Tiamat said. Kalina hesitated to answer. Fine, but you have to do something in return, like having a job, since you're way too old to be in Issei's school. Kalina said. What if I become a teacher there? Tiamat said. Do I get a say in this? Issei butted in. No, Tiamat and Kalina said in unison. That sounds good to be honest, maybe Issei here can call up that Citri chick to set you up. Kalina suggested. I can, let me see if she's up. Issei pulled out his phone and dialed Sona's number. Hello? Sona spoke through the line. Hey, Sona, can you do something for me? Issei asked. If I can do it, then sure. Sona said. Can you open a spot for Tiamat in the school? Not a student of course, but she wants to be a teacher there. Issei requested. Yeah sure, expect her to be in your homeroom in 2 days, your current homeroom teacher coincidentally handed her resignation letter a week ago. Sona answered. Great, thanks Sona. Issei hung up. Yeah, you're set. Issei said to Tiamat. Oh yes, finally I can spend more time with you. Tiamat kissed Issei's cheek. I'm still here you know. Kalina said, startling the two. Yeah, Tia, you can move your things here if you need to. Issei said. Oh, no need, I don't have personal belongings, all I have are my treasure back in the underworld. Tiamat answered. I see, but where will you sleep though? Issei grabbed his chin. With you of course. Tiamat said, much to Issei's dismay. Ugh, fine, let me take a shower and I'll go to bed. Issei went up the stairs. I'm joining you. Tiamat followed Issei. Another one, huh? I don't know how many ladies you'll bring into our tiny home Issei, but we definitely need a bigger house. Kalina said to herself. That's it guys. Thanks for watching and supporting us. See you in the next part.